Shopify presents cool sheets from aha to...
I suffered from the wrong kind of hot in bed, heat-induced insomnia. That was my aha moment. Bed sheets that keep you cool. Then I thought, how do I even sell bed sheets? That's when I had the idea that made it all possible. Signing up on Shopify.
This is Possibility, powered by Shopify. Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/offer22. Shopify.com/offer22.
This episode is brought to you by 1923 on Paramount Plus. In Taylor Sheridan's new original series 1923, the Duttons confront challenges, including the end of the First World War, America's industrialization, and the start of the Great Depression. Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford star in the new original series 1923, streaming December 18th exclusively on Paramount Plus. Head to ParamountPlus.com to try it free.
BooBaes.
Hello.
BooBaes. Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey. Oh my
I haven't
God.
seen you in a whole minute.
It does feel like forever. Y'all don't know this, but because it's only been a week for y'all, but we recorded last time on Wednesday night or something.
But not last Wednesday. Was it the Wednesday before?
Yeah, I don't
Was it
know.
last week?
It feels like I haven't seen you in forever.
It feels like it's been, well, maybe because we see each other
been a
usually
year.
more often than we have seen each other within the last week and a half.
I haven't seen you in a long year.
Oh, your hair looks a lot longer.
Oh, it's growing.
Yeah, it looks like it went through a little growth spurt.
I wore a
Like
wig
within
at
this
my
past
brother's
few
wedding
weeks.
yesterday.
Just like pulled it out.
It looked beautiful.
Aw.
Everyone was like, I'm not crazy. You had short hair yesterday, right? And I was like, yeah. My lace front was convincing.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, oh
How
my
long
God.
was it?
It was like down here.
Okay,
My hair was
that's
long.
good.
Did you see
Yeah.
that boomerang I posted?
I don't think so. Well,
was-
maybe probably.
It was real long. I was like, whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Long. Heavy. I wanted it off my head by the end of the night. Anyways, my
That's a
brother
vibe.
got married. So shout out
Shout out to your marriage.
to Brett and Zoe.
And to marriage.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yay.
fun.
Yeah. I don't know.
Not for me yet.
Far from it.
My family went, when and if you ever decide to get married. I said, thanks.
They know. It's okay. They're going to let you come to it on your own.
Yeah, I
If
was
it
like,
ever
I'll get there
happens.
someday
It's okay.
when I find someone I actually like. And they're
Yeah.
like, that's important. And I was like, I know.
Well, welcome you guys.
Welcome to BooBaes.
BooBaes,
BooBaes.
where we talk about horror movies.
Spooktacular,
Yeah.
horror-filled. It's fun.
Fright Fest.
Fun.
There you go.
Fun, Fright Fest.
Yeah, I'm Joshua.
And I am Caitlin.
Yeah. We're here. We got our mimosa.
Yes, and a Fat Tuesday cup from Vegas
That
because
Tuesday.
I'm getting in my Vegas mode.
And I've got
I
my
get to go in February, so.
killer cup here.
Yeah, yours is actually fitting for this podcast. Mine is just on party time.
Always. Party time, always. I like that. Yeah,
What's
no.
in your cup, though? Water?
Mine's water.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
I asked
No.
someone, I said, should I bring mimosas to the podcast? And they were like, no. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to bring mimosas
Yeah,
to the
do it.
podcast.
Do it.
He was like, why did you even ask? And I was like,
Yeah.
because I thought you were going to support me.
It's just because I got to be up tomorrow. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I act like I don't drink when I have to be up super early on a regular basis. But I don't know. I was just feeling water today. I didn't have enough of it. So just like I need some H2O. You ever hit those feelings?
I drink a gallon of water a day most
So then you
days.
don't.
So not, not really.
Well, I think it's just because I've been on vacation the past like week and a half. And so I would just like everything's blurred. I'm like, I've been
Life is
actually sleeping
fake.
in most days. And so it's
nice.
just like, yeah. I've been kind of in a cocoon the past week and a half.
That's impressive.
Which is nice.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I missed you, though.
I really enjoyed it.
I'm glad
I
you're
needed
here.
it. Me too. I'm glad to be talking about the Scream 3.
30.
Scream 3, the
Uno,
third
dos,
installment
tres.
in the Scream
Eins, zwei,
franchise.
drei.
Ooh,
What?
it's German,
What
right?
else? Yeah. What else do we know?
Uno, dos,
Un, deux, trois.
Un, deux, trois, French, uno, dos, tres.
Do you know
Some
ich, ni,
polyglots.
san?
What is that?
I think that's Japanese.
Ooh,
Korean, they have 2 different ways to count. There's like, it's like
2 different ways.
Cha na tu set. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
That's more than I know.
I shouldn't try to
A for effort.
count
You tried it.
ever in English or
the maths.
you want to see the shirt I bought? No one else was amused by this, y'all. It was really funny, and I thought it was hilarious because this lady like wrote this company saying like, why are you selling satanic shit to kids? So then they put her review on a t-shirt.
Oh my god.
It was $12, so I bought it, and they only made $50. And I was like,
it's a once in a lifetime. It's a limited edition.
It was. So shout out to Teen Hearts. I bought your shirt.
That's
and
hilarious.
No one else was as amused as I was.
Can she like sue back at them?
Probably. I'll probably get that shirt ripped off of me in public one day.
You're gonna have to go testify in court.
Yeah. Oh, I did get summoned for jury duty. First time ever, and it's on Valentine's Day, and I won't be in the state.
You're like, sorry.
Because I'll be in Vegas.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. Is there a horror movie that takes place in Vegas? Can
probably.
we watch that? Mike, do you know? A Vegas horror flick happens on the streets. He's gonna like googly it. Okay, we'll come back.
Yeah, and if not, we'll find it. We'll make our own. We'll have to come up with one.
Well, let me just start by saying that I am.
Wow.
Sorry.
I was taken aback.
High key, I am mad at myself for not being more invested in the Scream franchise previously.
Okay.
Because rarely are thirds good.
Yeah.
And I've not ever in my entire life looked forward to a fourth, except for Toy Story 4.
Oh, that's
and
Toy Story.
That's goddamn Toy Story. So now I'm here, and I haven't seen Scream 4 yet.
Yeah.
So I am actually excited to see it. I don't know if it is going to be as good, but I still really liked Scream 3.
Well, and if I'm not mistaken, you said you hadn't seen this one at all.
I hadn't seen this one either.
At all.
So that's why I was like, what the fuck? I'm like mad at myself. Yeah. So this was a first time go through for me. And I was just like, man, this is actually a good movie. And all the callbacks it has to the first film, which it talks about being one of the rules. Like everything is just so well integrated.
Woven within itself.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people mistake it or laugh it off or maybe think it's a little too in on the joke on itself. But I like how like hammer on the nail it is.
Yes. It's
a nice,
brilliant.
It ties everything
so
back
good.
together.
Yeah. And the whole time, let me just tell you. Okay, I mentioned my brother got married yesterday. We were up at the church breaking down stuff up until almost 11. I slept on a pull-out mattress for the past 2 days. I'm fucking tired. And I had to drive home 2 hours. And I was not wanting to watch this movie. I was like, I just want to go to sleep. And then I turned it on and I was like, oh, fuck. Okay, I'm enjoying this. And I was like, not that this isn't a chore. Like, I like doing this and I like that I'm getting to experience all these films that I wouldn't have watched otherwise. Because let's be honest, I wouldn't have unless you physically sat me down.
And we're like, we're watching this right now.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't have watched it. Leprechaun 3.
Leprechaun 3's in Vegas.
Hostel 3, Dead Man's Hand, Resident Evil. Resident Evil?
I was thinking Resident Evil too. I was like, I'm pretty sure one of the Resident Evils was in Vegas.
Can you take a picture of that so I can remember that for later? You just started erasing it.
We're going to do a Vegas theme.
Dude, let's do it. Leprechaun.
I've never seen any of the Leprechaun.
Me up. Okay, the first Leprechaun scared the fuck out of me
Jennifer
as a kid.
Aniston?
Is it Jennifer? I just remember being traumatized of... I feel like I walked in and my parents were watching it and I wasn't supposed to see.
And you just stuck around.
And and then I was just scarred for life.
Yeah.
I feel like that was my experience with the first Leprechaun.
I've never watched them. I'll have to give it a shot.
I
know the first one is a classic, right?
Yeah, it is. I do believe I've seen it in full, but it has been. I was young, like younger than 10, young
90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm just excited to cover this film.
I'm excited. Yeah.
All around, I really loved everything about it.
Obviously, really am a big fan of the Scream franchise.
Yes, I'm glad you're making me a fan.
I like it.
Now I'm actually hyped for the 5th one, and
me too.
I have high hopes, but Craven's dead. So was he dead before? No, 4 came
4
out.
was the last one. And
Okay.
he died just a few years ago.
Yeah.
But
so now,
I do like 4 though. I'm excited for you to watch 4. It's really, I don't know. It takes it up a level, like in terms of kills. And then it somehow, once again, they find a way to make it meta in itself and like taking it into another generation, because it is 11 years after this movie.
Oh wow!
Because the time difference. Yeah.
Dope.
But yeah.
I'm excited.
Let's jump into it. So I really liked how this movie opens up with like a Hollywood sign, like camp, like they're like on a chase of a car. I don't remember even.
There was some sort of accident.
There we go.
It was like a car wreck,
like traffic's
or something.
backed up, but like it gives this movie that feeling already of like Hollywood big budget movie in itself, because
with the chopper, it seems like almost action packed, like Tom Cruise
That's
film.
exactly what I was thinking, because this whole movie is a movie within its movie.
Yeah,
like, you know, so
it
it's
is.
like, oh, and that just gives it to me even more like a grandiose feeling already coming into
The opening
it.
was really good. I was a fan.
And we have Cotton, our character who was from Scream 1 and Scream 2.
He's just trying to get that money.
Yeah, mistaken for being Maureen Prescott's murderer, but he really wasn't. And so thankfully he's kind of got his karma, because like he's I guess what he wanted to from the second one. He wanted the fame and like fortune and kind of like.
And I guess got that interview with Diane Sawyer. He now has his own talk show, as we find out.
100% Cotton.
Yeah, so I didn't, because it doesn't tell you until
a moment later.
Because whenever he pulled that line, so okay, he's in the car, he's stuck in traffic, he's on the phone with someone,
some lady,
and then he gets this other call, and it's this woman who's like, "Oh, who is this?" And then he's like, "Oh, who is this?" And
which is very Ghostface already.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
And so immediately I was like, yeah, the possibility that this random bitch would know his name.
Yes, and it's and also the juxtaposition of it actually being a woman's voice instead of being Ghost voice.
That was
Ghostface. Yeah.
And because again, for like Cotton, like that was more, and it had so many parallels back to the beginning. Sorry, I'm like tripping over my words. I'm excited. But yeah, so it's this woman, and then she's like, "Oh, I know your voice. Like, are you sound like that guy Cotton Weary?" And he is like, "Oh, are you 100% Cotton fan?" And she was like, "I'm 110% Cotton fan." And I was like, "What the fuck?
What kind of cheesy, like corny?" That's
I was like, "This is kind of gross."
Yeah, yeah. Oop. Yeah,
And
I
then,
totally agree.
And then later on, we get
why she was saying that.
Yeah, it was like a billboard that said 100% Cotton or something, or it was on the TV. I don't know, but yeah. So then it switches to Ghostface, and now the girlfriend's life is on the line.
Yeah,
and
because he's like, I can see your girlfriend. He's trying to describe her body.
He said he didn't have a girlfriend.
Yeah, and he's like, well, I'm looking at her right now. Casey
did.
Oh, I don't have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
The parallels.
And then with the shower of now, not that she was actually in the shower, but in the movie in Stab, the original Stab,
she was in the shower.
Casey, who played Casey, was going in the shower.
It's like you have to like
there's so
think
many
about it so much.
It's like we're with that big old map with the red lines, like
it's
from
so smart, it's stupid.
From what is that? Always Sunny.
Yeah.
We're that guy.
I love Philadelphia. Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I've actually not seen all of it.
I
have seen random episodes that people made me watch,
anytime
and
I
then
do
I just
watch
know
an
that
episode,
meme.
it's so funny. And so then Cotton is like driving insanely,
like a fucking psychopath. He's like hitting cars,
literally.
And I was like, "You're not gonna get there any faster by driving like this."
And it's the way like you're gonna die before you even get there.
Yeah.
And
this is where I put, 100% Cotton is a show. Oh my fucking god.
Yes, because he kindly gets to not before. Sorry. Well, all of this is happening at the same time. He's trying to race to get to his girlfriend, but Ghostface is attacking the girlfriend in their apartment, home, whatever it is. But he's using. Somehow
he's got a next level voice changer.
We find out later, but he's got this voice changer, the killer does, that is making their voice sound like Cotton. So the girlfriend thinks it's Cotton trying to kill her. And so then finally Cotton gets there.
We see the phone line's been cut as well.
Phone line's been cut. We see finally and it's funny that the TV show 100% Cotton, it's talking about road rage.
Yes, and yes. I said that too. I was like, road rage, fitting for how he was driving like a psychopath.
So ironic.
So okay, but at one point as she's going through the house and Ghostface is toying with her, the cat and mouse again,
Yes.
as you've said. She goes, I don't like these stab games.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Cotton is like,
He's probably into some kinky shit. Yeah.
That I'm. We all know.
Or maybe just a major prankster.
I'm into some weird shit, but no, playing stab like after knowing
it sounds like
that,
this has happened before.
Yes.
Maybe not to this extent, but
and
like
it was just
yeah.
like, oh no, ooh, that part gave me like the creeps. I was
he
like,
always
ew.
was a little creepy though.
He was, yeah.
It's not
The
like- yeah,
whole
yeah.
encounter that he had with Sid in the library
Mm-hmm.
stairwell was very intense.
Yes.
But yeah, so this is where I put, because on the other side of the door, it's using Cotton's voice. They're using Cotton's voice. And I was like, they're definitely getting super intense with the voice changers now.
Yeah. Which I don't even know how, like what, but like we'll let the movie do it
Yeah,
because
for real.
it works really well for the plot.
Yeah.
Because it makes you really fucking suspect everybody
Yeah, I was like,
throughout the entire
how did
movie.
they just get, I don't know. I was
Yeah.
trying to think of maybe from like interviews, if they've pulled these from different people. I don't know.
But they were saying,
Or slash
it was saying
movies.
whatever it was saying in the moment. It's not like pre-recorded things because
Well,
it
I
was
know, but
responding.
like maybe if it, yeah.
It's just,
Yeah, because now I'm thinking like Bumblebee from Transformers trying to like
yeah,
make sure people's, yeah, it would
Yeah.
be like,
which that technology doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Either way, but works great for the movie. But yeah, so finally Cotton is there and he's trying to get his girlfriend to open the door, but she's not, and then he breaks down the door
And I was like,
and-
oh, thank goodness she's alive. And then I
then
was like,
she
oh,
attacks him.
lol, never mind.
because she thinks he was the guy attacking her.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
Rightly so.
yeah, because I
'Cause
mean that's what it looked like.
And it seems like it's a boy who cried wolf situation.
Yeah, and so then it's kind of sad because then he's trying to like be like, like, what are you doing? What's going on? And she's like, you tried to kill me. You're crazy. And then bum bum bum, look
He's like,
behind
"Watch
you."
out.
In the famous words of Randy,
Yeah.
he was behind her and kills the girlfriend.
Yep.
It's her scream for me though. She's just like, I wish I could do it right
Yeah.
now. It'd be too loud for the microphone. But yeah, it was funny to me. And
A lot of the screams in this film
yeah.
are pretty entertaining.
Oh yeah. And
There
so
were some that I was like,
there's
"Oh."
one in particular with the two gals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have a comment. I was like, them together.
Oh yeah.
That's a lot. It's fun.
It's fun.
Entertaining.
I really liked their interaction.
I did too.
Every time they were together. And so yeah, we have Cotton getting murdered
I was
already.
like, oh shit, Cotton dead.
These are the first two murders because obviously every Scream movie starts with the little opening murder sequence, and then we get
yeah.
uh-huh
Did the second one?
yeah, remember the movie theater.
Oh, that's right. And
Yeah.
then Scream. But the original Scream, just it says Scream and then goes into it. So it's not broken up with the murders like this one is.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Sorry.
Yeah. And then we get our little title card, which I like the way Scream comes on in this one.
Yeah,
'cause
the
it
three looks like it's slashed.
and then it looks very less 90s. It looks definitely more like 2000s.
Y2K.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I liked that.
Yeah, I really actually did like that entrance for the logo a lot.
Mhm.
I was like, that's good. And then we end up with Sid.
Sydney.
Very reminiscent of the first film with the
Yeah.
pacing and the way that we've had a couple now die in the same way that like kind
And
of
then-
Casey said, I don't have a boyfriend. Oh, now your boyfriend's life is on the line. Fuck, I have a boyfriend. Oh, your girlfriend's life is on the line. Fuck, I have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like same
Yeah.
deal.
And we get her. She's living in
The middle of nowhere, kind of off the
mountains
grid.
of California, I guess. She has her doggy
Cherokee.
and she's got lots of locks on her doors,
Mhm,
and
as she should.
yeah, and
She works for a
codes
crisis
and
hotline.
everything, working for the women's crisis counselor. Yeah,
Surprising that her job takes place
On the
around
phone.
a phone.
because
Because it
her
seems
whole
like maybe it
nightmare
would
was
be
the phones.
slightly triggering for her.
real. Well, even just listening to other people's trauma, would
Yeah.
bring up her own trauma.
But I guess there is a certain amount of once you've
Gone through that much, you want to help other people escape it as well.
and slash it kind of helps you. Honestly, it kind of helps you
Process your own.
process, but then also repress because you focus on
Other
other people's
people's
problems
shit instead of your own.
yours. Yeah, because
feel
I've
that.
definitely done that in the past.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
again, not with murder. Please don't murder anyone around me.
Yeah, but she's going by Laura.
Laura,
as she's
yeah.
working on this like little crisis hotline.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much it. Just kind of giving us a like, where's Sydney now? Because then we cut pretty fast into
to Gail.
Gail.
And I love her bangs.
And
I put nice bangs, but later on I come back and I'm like, no, I fucking love these bangs.
Yeah.
I loved this look for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looked hot as fuck. I was like, good job, Gail.
It's the way each movie she has a different hairstyle.
Mm-hmm. I'm a fan.
And I did make a note of it later on, I think, in the movie. I liked her looks, which she does.
Yeah, she's got a Kill Bill look coming in.
And most of the movie,
the red leather pants as she's doing recon. I'm like, that doesn't stand out at all.
I liked all of her outfits for the most
she
part.
looked real good.
Her like yellow outfit she had for a while. Anyways,
that's the Kill Bill one.
Yeah. So she is,
which is fitting because they mentioned Reservoir Dogs.
Which is dogs.
They mentioned Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs.
Oh my god.
And so which is by Quentin, right? It's his first movie or no?
Yeah. I don't know if it's his first, but
okay.
Quentin did direct Kill Bill and also Reservoir Dogs.
And so
she's
from Boston.
I'm from Boston now.
And so we have her giving a seminar, basically like a TED Talk almost, and which is really cool to still see that she's just quite frankly the same badass, like just will do anything for the story still. Yeah, very overzealous.
Even though we had an almost redeeming character arc for her.
In the second one,
yeah.
Yes. Which kind of left her in a different spot, but this one kind of found her at the
same... She doesn't seem as cutthroat, but then that guy points out, he was like, so are you just telling us to go slash people's throats to get
like,
what benefits us? And she's like, yeah.
Do what you got to do.
Yep.
Get that check. Get the story.
In the end, you've only got yourself.
So yeah, and so it's funny how we find her kind of back to the beginning where she was in the second film. And same even in her relationship when we find later with Dewey. Like,
I was so upset when they were on the rocks again. I was like, motherfucker.
I was like,
I hate y'all together, but also, come on.
It's one of those relationships. Yeah. And so but then we have her getting pulled away by Mark Kincaid.
Yeah, they say a police officer's here for you. I thought it was Dewey.
Yeah, right. I think we all did.
And then we see him and I was like, oh, hot cop.
Yeah.
Now, let me just say, I suspected him
from
whole
the
fucking time.
Yeah.
I also suspected Dewey again this entire film. I was like, fuck you, Dewey.
It was Dewey.
Something's wrong about you.
It was Dewey. Yeah, right? Yeah.
I was on Dewey's case again. I don't know. Something about his acting was just like so like
it's a little unsettling at times the way he acts.
He blinks so much, which is
he's got that nervous guy kind of character energy.
Yeah, and there's one line that he says later on, which we'll get to it, but I was like, no, like honestly, it could be you.
Yeah. Like something happened in between the second and third one.
Yeah. I don't know. So I suspected him again.
Which
this isn't a surprise. This film had me expecting it was everyone.
So
suspecting everyone.
Kind of my thing with this fifth one. I feel like if they don't make it one of the like main three,
I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, like
if it's not Gail Weathers.
At this point, it's got to be one of them. Like I don't know.
She bring back her story.
Yeah, something like that. That's what I feel like to really make it like cut deep. You know what I mean? Like
hurt me,
Daddy. Real. I want it to happen. And so then we have all of that shit going on, and he's telling her that Cotton Weary's been murdered again, or not murdered again, but murdered. She's like, oh shit. And then we have it cutting it back. It's the way this movie cuts a lot, at least for the first half, from like, you know, what's going on with Sydney and with Gail.
Because we're in three different locations until Gail comes and joins the set.
And then until Sydney comes after until the police station. So it's like
there's a lot of cut to show us what's happening at any given time.
Yeah. And so we're back to Sydney, and she sees
and once again, it's the news.
It's the news breaking.
But this time, she turns it off.
Oh, yeah,
she fucking turns it off, which is so good because as we talked about the last two times, she was forced to sit through it.
Yeah.
Like the first time she sat through it for quite a bit before she turned it off. This time she turned it off pretty immediately.
Yeah.
And which I was like, good for you.
But even the face, and she's just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. She's freaking out. Rightly so. And yet again, because this poor girl can't catch a fucking break.
And it's only been 4 years since the first movie. Like all that happened.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like to think like still, it's like all this shit is still happening pretty close to back to back.
It's just mind boggling to me that it is still the lack of sensitivity there in the fact that they're still promoting and making these films, which they do pull them. But like the fact that you've had a real murder, like the original murder, a copycat.
Yeah.
And you don't think that, like, you don't think to pull these costumes from the shelves, and you're still creating a film franchise over it. In real life, that wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
I would hope some people would be upset enough to be like, no.
Yeah.
Clearly,
pull it.
People are going to keep getting murdered if we keep fueling this. Yeah, promoting it. But
it's adding just more fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
Because eventually, even if it wasn't something related to Sydney, a copycat or something might come out of it, or or some crazy person is going to take something too literal and, like, you know, yeah.
And they're going to want to.
Because humans are crazy.
Yeah. It's the whole thing. Like when people were like, oh, Grand Theft Auto makes people kill people. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of that same vibe.
Yeah, I feel you. Except this is actually happening in this universe. Like, it's actually making people kill people. Exactly.
Like,
they should have stopped after the second movies.
Exactly.
Instead of it being, because in the first, in Scream 2, it was Stab 1 that was coming out. So at this point, 2, this is like one other film had come out.
It was interesting to see the third.
Being the third movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the third and the
they're
third.
simultaneously.
Yeah. At this point.
That was, I did like that.
I did too.
I thought that was nice. And it wasn't just like, oh, here's Stab 2 in the remaking and now another set of murders. Like, it wasn't, it wasn't a copy and paste.
The way that they also do, like, even with Scream 2, it's like that was a sequel in a sequel. And now it's like, and it acknowledged itself as a sequel. And this one, it made it a smart way to acknowledge itself as
the trilogy.
The third one, the trilogy. Yeah.
Which part of me does kind of wish they, like, would have stopped there. But I can't say that without seeing the fourth one yet.
Yeah.
But it's like, because you don't call something a trilogy and then make a fourth. So
of course, yeah.
I don't know. Like,
and I think actually the West always did want to make like a whole, like, almost like a Star
series.
Wars.
Like,
3 and a 3.
Okay. Well,
so
then
we'll
we need one more after this.
Yeah, we'll see how Scream 5 does. Or just Scream.
Yeah. Confusing.
So we get back to the Stab 3 set. And
we got the same narrative on if movies influence life.
Basically the same conversation we just had.
Yes.
Because all the producers are like, should we not? And then they want to obviously make their money. And then my favorite thing is when he asked the assistant to Kincaid, he's like, is this going to affect our movie? And he was like, you're filming a movie. He was making a movie called Stab. He was stabbed.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, this is going to affect.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. There's ties. There's a connection there.
Very cut dry.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was so funny.
Yeah. And then we cut to some of the actors on the
who were
stoop.
playing Sydney and the original cast. Yeah.
And someone was like... They said something about, like, it could just be some rando who's pissed off that Randy died in the second one. And I was like, yeah, I was mad that they killed Randy too.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, Randy.
Aw. Shout out to
Randy. If he
Randy.
doesn't come back as the killer in Scream 5, I'm going to be mad.
Right? She survived that whole time and he's coming back to make his own movie.
Because he did make a movie in this one too.
He did.
But he wants his real movie.
It's the way I love that they found a way to...
Watch, we just called the whole plot for Scream 5.
Could you imagine? Oh my gosh. Like, somehow Randy Meeks comes back. Jamie Kennedy.
Oh, and they were talking about how Tori Spelling and David Schwimmer didn't want to come back because people were getting killed. And yeah.
Rightfully so. Smart call on them because this cast is kind of doomed.
Yeah.
Literally all of them.
All of them die.
All of them die. Yeah. It was the way that rewatching it. I was
all four of those people on the stoop die.
Everybody dies. Yeah.
Yep.
And so we have then, I guess.
We cut to Gail Weathers.
Oh, Gail was sneaking into the lot. Yes.
Coming in with her Kill Bill yellow suit. I put yes, ma'am.
And then I love the interaction between her and Jennifer Jolie. Is the actress who is not the name of the actual actress, but the actress in Scream who is playing
portraying
Gail. I call her, so for future, I call her Fake Gail.
I call her Fake Gail too.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Like, literally my note says Fake Gail.
Okay, mine do too. I have to find where it is.
Oh yeah.
But yes.
I use Sneaky Gal meets Fake Gal.
Sneaky Gal meets Fake Gal. Fucking Fake Gal Weathers. That's what I put.
Yeah.
That's what I put.
I loved it.
And then I call her Fake Gal through all the rest of this.
Yeah.
Yep. Ah, twins.
Fake Gal. Wow.
Look
Same
at us.
thought.
We didn't even watch it together.
Fake Gal meets the real Gal, and
Their
I love
interaction
their
is
little interaction. It's
good.
the quick-wittedness
Savage.
between both of them.
OG Gail Savage.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
was like,
Yeah, they're very quick with each other.
they are. I loved it.
And
it was fun.
I also
I'd
like
ship
that.
'em.
I like that actress who plays Fake Gal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually watching a show right now called Lost in Space, and she's in it. So, and she's been in countless other things
Yeah.
too.
I was like, I definitely recognize her.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot tell you what she's been
She
in. But
always
she's good.
usually, I mean, if I in the things that I've watched her, she usually plays characters that are more like sus or like have like a dark sided or something like to it.
Yeah.
Like not just like a nice person or anything like that.
She's
which I
got
like.
some depth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like it, which is fitting because then Gail also tells her, "Oh, like you're really showing your range,
Yeah.
kind of thing." Like,
I'm like, she's playing you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's funny.
it's like,
It's funny.
I can't tell if you're hurting yourself or not.
And so then we have finally
But I feel like Gail's
Dewey,
got some
right?
self-deprecating humor
Oh,
in
yeah.
general. Like
Mhm.
it's clear that she knows maybe not all things about me are the best.
Yeah, she knows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's smart. She's self-aware, but it's the way that she's so self-aware that she don't care. She's still gonna do what she wants to do,
That's right.
no matter what anybody thinks.
But then yes, Dewey comes in, and they're at
Mhm.
odds again.
Yeah.
I was like, motherfucker, come on. Oh, and this is where I commented, seriously, I love her bank so much.
Aw, yeah.
So I was living for her whole look.
I was living for her pretty much the whole movie, to be
Mhm.
honest. She had a good not script, but like a good, like, she was pretty steady the whole movie. I liked it.
Solid
And it's-
all-around character.
Yeah, exactly.
Performance,
Yeah,
mwah.
like her placement was always just right where she needed. I liked how she was like literally following Dewey the whole time and just being like, good old Gil Weathers trying to be Snoop and get to the bottom of the story. You know?
She had a very prominent role in this
Yeah,
film.
very prominent.
More so than Sydney.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Definitely.
especially for the
Sid
first
is
part
kind
of
of
the
a
movie.
side character in
For
this.
most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
Because she spends it
Good.
in the police department a lot of it while other shit is happening between all the other characters. Like, that's very true.
she gets her moment at the end, but
Yeah.
she's David Arquette's name is on the ending credits is before hers.
Yeah.
So he is like
He's very
the main character.
Him and Monica Geller.
I didn't write Monica this time. I was so
Good.
proud of myself.
What's
Maybe
her
it's because I
name?
had to call her Gail 2.0.
Oh.
I had to call fake Gail, and so then I was
Courtney
just
Cox.
like Courtney Cox.
Oh my God, I could
Which-
not.
Okay,
Yeah.
I remember when I read her name. I remembered, but she was Courtney Cox Arquette in this one because they were married in real life.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, they get engaged at the end of the movie, which
Yeah.
is kind of gross, but whatever. But also like super fitting for them. I don't know, but I
can't wait till
totally
you watch the fourth
forgot
one.
they were actually
Married in real life.
married in real life.
Yeah.
And then because like I do remember, he was never again. I wasn't like super invested in the Scream franchise growing up.
Yeah.
I did know Courtney Cox, and I remember her adding that last name, but I just
didn't, like, pin it
didn't
to- like,
put
two and two.
together
Yeah,
until
yeah.
I saw that, and I was like, oh,
yeah.
that's right. She was married for a time, and they've got a kid, and they have a production company together.
I think they're still together, right? Or that
they are not
divorced?
still together.
Oh,
They are
okay.
divorced,
Okay.
but they keep a friendly, like
Yeah,
amicable
okay, gotcha.
relationship for not only their child but also
Their
the business partners.
business endeavors. Yeah. That's crazy.
But yeah, that was a what the fuck for me because this film it showed as Courtney Cox Arquette instead of is that how you say it?
Courtney Cox Arquette.
Arquette.
His last name Arquette. Yeah,
Okay.
David Arquette.
I was
Mhm.
like, it could be Arquette.
No, yeah, I don't know what it is.
Arquette.
I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's
fucking know.
Canadian or something or what.
It's fucking. What's he from? Montreal.
Something. I don't know. But yeah, so we have kind of a little bit of reunion-ish happening. And
This is
then-
where Dewey's acting was kind of killing me.
Yeah.
He
He's
was
acting a
blinking
little sus.
so much. Yeah.
And why like he's there and it's like, well, they just needed like, someone to be what do you call it? A something. But to basically give info because he knew what happened and was there like the first
he
two
was
movies.
their like media or their
I forget what word he used.
he was an advisor.
Advisor, yeah.
overseeing the films to make sure these details were correct.
Yeah, and so basically we have an interaction there. We have interaction between Gail and another actor, Tom, who's playing Dewey. And then the guy
she's got her little camera bag, but then they call to throw her out.
The producer, Milton wants her to get thrown out because he's like, no press. And it's the way
they were so ready.
They get her thrown out, and I love because just there's like a group little tour going on right now. She's like, oh, thank you, boys. Like, as if it's to make it look like she's not getting kicked out. Yeah,
and
that's such a Gail move.
Those guys comment to her, and I feel like I probably should know who they
are.
But...
it's Jay and Silent Bob.
Okay. Yeah. I was like, I feel like I recognize them.
I wrote down Kevin right here on my notes, but it's the way I had to look it up before we came because I was like, I know that it's gonna come up, so I need to remember who they are. I've never watched anything they're in, but I know that it's like that time frame, like pop culture.
Yeah. I figured I could tell. I was like, this I know is some sort of reference.
Yeah.
But
and I love how she flipped them off.
She was like, and he was like, I think she likes me. But yeah, at this point, immediately I put, now I suspect Dewey again.
Yeah.
So I was like, no. I fucking think it's him.
Already red flags. And so then we have a cutaway again back to Sydney and her dad, and they're kind of discussing what's going on. And she's kind of like,
she's like, do you ever think of mom? And I'm like, of course she fucking thinks about her.
But
come on,
basically she's just like, why does she have so many secrets? And like all of the shit that she did is now like basically what's torturing us now, you know?
And then her dad is like, why are you like living like this? It's like you don't exist. And it's like, yeah, it's like she's the whole point.
Traumatized.
Yeah.
Literally traumatized.
She's needing to get off.
She does not want to die.
The grid.
Yeah. Because psychos keep wanting to kill her.
Yeah.
And so then she's on the couch.
I'm surprised she doesn't live in a fucking bunker. I'm sorry.
Yeah, literally.
I
because
live
the way that
underground,
she's
be a
been
mole
like
person.
targeted, like to like yeah. And then like her life is publicized now, so it's not
and
only
I can't
just
believe
like
her
that.
dad's not more sensitive to that.
And
Come
he's
on,
just
Dad,
like,
you were also targeted.
Yeah, and the way he's like, just come back home, and I'm like, that's super unsafe.
Yeah.
Like that's the fourth movie. And so
can't wait.
And so we have her on the couch, and it's the way I thought it was gonna be, like a callback to the first one when she was asleep on the couch and she thought she was getting a phone call from Tatum. But no, it's a dream sequence and she's having a nightmare.
Yeah.
It was a little weird.
I was like, what is this ghost mom at her window? What? And the inflection that her mom, while she was talking, was so weird. Yeah. And the sentences didn't seem well rounded.
Yeah.
Like the way that she phrased it felt like she like almost left off in the middle. I was just like, everything about this is weird.
Well, and it's the way for like a screen movie that's like more about like, it's nothing supernatural. So it's just like, it was weird to have a supernatural element mixed into it because you're like, where's this coming from?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, no, this is clearly a dream.
Yeah. And so she has the dream. She wakes up from the dream because then Ghostface appears in her dream through the window and is like about to attack her. So obviously she has that PTSD going on, and it shows us what's happening, which we already knew she had. Like, because she had kind of this, and maybe it's like in continuation of like what I think was that hallucination she had in the play whenever she was in the second movie. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
Very reminiscent of that.
And so then we have Miss Rose Darling.
Blonde bitch. That's
Jennifer
what I named
McCarthy.
her.
Yeah.
Pulling in.
She
pulled in hard. I put, hell yeah, blonde bitch. I love her.
Hits a curb. Fine. She's going to go see Roman because apparently she has a meeting with quote unquote Roman at the studio. And then we have her looking for him. Then we have Tyson scaring her.
It's the way that I didn't suspect him.
You didn't? Yeah.
No, not really.
I
was like, this motherfucker's dumb.
So I rewatched this again because I mean I've already seen it, of course, and so same intent that I had with the second one, and we're like convincing myself I don't know who the killer is, I don't know who it is, and yeah, they really do a good job of like. There's red herrings everywhere, so you suspect everybody, but also
he wasn't super prominent.
Yeah, and also they make him like I
Sorry,
just thought he was
it's Roman.
Yeah, I just thought he was a dumb character.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, this motherfucker's just a bratty fucking kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that what 30 looks like? Oh my god.
But that's
I'm so close.
Makes sense. So now in hindsight, bratty fucking kid. And so they have Sarah then getting no, not yet. She's there. She gets a phone call, and it's like, which also I'm thinking like, why is Roman calling his own office? But okay, yeah. He's calling her, and he's like, sorry, I'm in traffic, and I'm gonna be late. I'm on the 405.
Side note, I liked how the statue's head chopped off. Because then I was hoping her head was going to get chopped off.
Like
I was like hoping it was going to be like kind of reminiscent. And I would be like, that would be fucking cool. Yeah. The statue does come into play briefly later, but I was hoping her head would roll. It's the way that she's fucking trying to tape it back on.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Oh Lord, yeah, I saw that. I remember that with the little Scotch tape, and so because that's not going to be noticeable.
Not well done at all. It was like a 4-year-old wrapped it around, and I was like, "Girl, you're better off just like throwing this thing in the trash and hoping he never notices." Like,
and then I liked kind of, at least for her though, she's still like, she is kind of giving like, why do I have to be naked, and why do I only have like just some bimbo who dies within 2 minutes.
She's questioning everything, and I put tell him bitch.
Yeah, she's she knew her worth.
She's like, why am I showering when I answer the phone? Good question.
Literally, because nobody would do that. It's just for the sake of nudity.
I actually do that sometimes. Same. I'll just be like, I'll put it on speaker, and I'm like, hello.
Literally, same. I'm in the shower.
And they're like, oh, I can call you back. And I'm like, okay, thanks.
I'm like, we could have just knocked it out right now, but okay, cool. Yeah.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Hank. You might remember me from a show called King of the Hill. Check out a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. These boys ain't rap, but they are funny. Find the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com. I tell you what.
But yeah, she's complaining about the role and how she dies second, which is like a foreshadowing. And then she mentions Vertigo, which I liked, which was like another little horror movie callback.
Yeah,
and
we so love to do.
And then finally, it's like, it's obviously not Roman anymore because it turns into Ghostface, and he starts
fake Roman,
starting twisted to her,
but not fake Roman.
Yeah, and
she runs. She tries to run out the door, sees a shadow.
She sees a shadow, and then she's like, fuck, she turns around, and it was basically a security guard who is like just checking in for the night. But she goes into that room where there's like nothing
department.
but Ghostface
and I was
costumes.
like, oh good, a costume department. And then it was filled with just lines of ghost faces, and I was like, this is good.
This is
At first I was like, oh, come on, like I can see where this is going. But then I wasn't expecting just rows of ghost faces.
Yeah.
So then I was like,
I like it. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
It was good. I liked it a lot.
And then she's sitting there and she's trying to call the studios to get help.
Her phone seems so loud.
Yeah. And then we have and it's the way you're like, I know it's gonna be there, but like I like how it's like
still when his head moved out of line. You were like, oh,
there it is.
Oop, there he is.
Yeah.
Oop, there it is. Yeah.
And then she finally notices when the boots pop out, and then I love how he literally just like pushes her
on
the
this
cart
little
and
cart
just yeets her and
into
she
the
just
next
rolls
room.
into the next room into another prop department area,
and she picks up the rubber knife. It's so wiggly. I was like, what is that even good for in general? Like
literally
she literally picked it up and the knife was like like a flaccid penis.
They're all prop fake little fake knives and stuff.
Couldn't even stay hard
for the sake of the movie. Poor Sarah, dude. But it's the way that whole time her boobs looked really nice.
Yeah, it did.
They did.
Everything about her looked so good.
And I think her character was supposed to be a callback to like Sarah Michelle Gellar's character.
Daphne. Cece.
Yeah, Cece.
Buffy.
But it's the way that
which we have another callback with her later too.
Oh, do we?
With the throwing the plant down the
that's
stair.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. As she's in the
whenever Sydney, yes.
Yep.
So then we have her dying because she gets thrown into the door frame window thing, which was
like,
pretty brutal.
Yeah, that's gotta fucking hurt.
Yeah.
And then like I'm imagining just like having the shards of the glass from the broken window stabbing you in your stomach.
Yeah.
And then
getting stabbed in the back
simultaneously.
Extra pressure, like
yeah. Bitch died.
She's dead. Yep. Yeah. So we got our death there. Third death of the movie. And then
I put, oh damn, what a death. I liked it.
I liked it too.
I do think it was
I could have gone more.
I can't remember the rest of the deaths right now, so I don't want to say this was my favorite death, but I remember in the moment thinking, this might be my favorite death.
There's a few different ones, but
a good death.
The deaths on this one too, actually though, weren't a lot of them for the most part were pretty tame.
They're not as over the top because it's not in our rules.
Yeah, that's for the second one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, yeah, this was pretty, because the kills in the second one were more over the top than,
because that's in our rules.
And so, yeah. And then we get a cut to Dewey and Gale talking. And they're catching up. Basically, we're covering like why they didn't work, basically, or not even really, but just like.
And pretty much he was like, why couldn't you have just been this way?
Yeah.
Or something. And I was like, oh no, Dewey, we don't hold back strong women.
Yeah. We do not, most definitely.
Motherfucker.
They won't be held back.
Yep.
You're just getting disappointed.
I was like, if she's too ambitious, sorry, that's not a phrase. Like, you're too small.
Basically. And so we have them talking, but I do like how it gets to basically off the record, Dewey gives Gale this information of someone tried to go ahead.
Sorry. Dewey has a one line where he goes newsflash, all of this is actually not about you.
Yeah.
I really liked that part. I was like, okay. I was just shitting on Dewey, but then I was like,
give Gale some humble pie. Yeah.
Good job, Dewey. I liked it both.
And he also then brings up the fact that he believes that someone from the cast is trying to find out where Sydney is or get close to Sydney to kill her, because there was someone who called with the movie, quote unquote, and tried to get Sydney Prescott's file.
Which this made me really suspect Angela, I think is her name. The girl who is supposed to play Sydney.
Yeah.
Later on, I hardcore suspect her.
Oh, especially in that one scene.
Where, yes. It's reminiscent of the bathroom. Yeah,
it's crazy. And so we have that happening, and then what happens right after that? They go to go see the house.
See
Jennifer, yes.
Essentially, Gale's finds she's been replaced by Jennifer when Jennifer pages him, essentially, I think, or calls him and is like, hey, get to the house.
Yeah,
because Sarah's been murdered. They'd found out.
Yeah,
and she's like, I need you. And Gale's like, what? You're just gonna ditch me for Jennifer?
Literally.
And so we see like,
and then she follows him.
Yep. And so she follows him, and I put, ooh, that lilac shirt and khaki skirt combo.
From
but it was
Gale.
so Y2K. No, from Gale.
From actual Gale?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
She had that little like lilac colored square neck shirt with that chunky necklace and then a khaki mini skirt that I was just like, I remember wearing that exact same outfit.
Early 2000s.
In the early 2000s, but I was just like,
fashion.
There's so many things from Y2K that are coming back right now, fashion wise.
Yeah.
That is not one of them. I was like, oh no.
There were a lot of questionable choices made back then.
I liked most of her looks. This one I was not a fan of.
And so I really liked fake Gale in this moment, how she's acting. I thought it was pretty comedic, actually.
Oh yes, she was so over the top when she hops into her Kronk. Is it Kronk?
It's Kronk. It's Patrick Waterburn.
Okay, yeah. I put because I was like, what the fuck is that interaction with her manager? But later on, when he calls him Dewdrop, bodyguard. I put, is that Kronk? I wasn't sure.
It's Kronk.
Okay, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then later I put, shut up, Kronk, because he does something. Anyways.
I did the same thing.
But yeah, when she hops into his arms, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
She just so casually is like,
and the way she's just like, do you see this cigarette? I haven't had one in a year and a half. Like, I loved it. I thought it was so funny.
She was very over the top. Entertaining. And for sure.
I loved how even like whenever they go out he goes to his little trailer or whatever. I love how she's like, you live here with her?
Yeah. And Dewey was like, I'm her rock. And I was like, ew, Dewey, don't believe that shit. And her rock.
And the way they're in the trailer, and he's like, you just might not understand the way I like to mail you, because women
and
feel
I stabilize
secure.
women.
Yeah, and like emotionally and something. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Fucking Dewey.
Yep. And then
Dewdrop.
Kronk is calling him Dewdrop. I was like, Dewdrop,
because
what?
Dewey tries to tell him, like, I guess basically how to do his job, and Kronk's like,
Yeah, and then that's why I put shut up, Kronk.
Yeah.
And then we cut to our investigators, the detectives.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, we've got 2 murderers here and we've got 2 pictures of Maureen Prescott. And they said 10 more, we can make a calendar. I was like, oh.
How insensitive.
Yep.
That cop kept having one-liners the whole time.
He did. He was kind of a dick.
Yeah, he was a little bit of a dick.
But then it was like, I put LOL murder. Like at first I was like, and then I was like, okay, wait, but it's like the way that I'd probably buy a murder calendar that was like, January is John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, of actual murderers.
Yeah.
Not murder victims.
I would be like, fun.
I
Just
could
all
see
these
that.
clowns. I would buy
see
that
that.
shit. We've got Black Dahlia and I don't know. Well, that's not the murderer.
But I get what you mean. Yeah.
And be like, oh, look at all these iconic murders.
Well, I know what to get you for your birthday.
It's coming up.
It is.
Scream 5 is coming out for my birthday, 2 days early, but I get to watch it that weekend. We get to record
That day.
on my birthday,
Yeah.
which I imagine we'll go see Scream 5 that day on 14th.
Yeah.
Record, and that'll be our episode that week.
We're gonna make it work. Yeah. The way the way that we have it planned out. We have no choice. It's gotta go.
It's literally what we've been planning.
And so we have them talking about who's gonna be killed next, because then Dewey mentions that they're getting murdered in the order of how they were the script, and then Kincaid's like, well, there's 3 different scripts, so they don't know who's gonna get murdered next.
This was another point that made me suspect Kincaid.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, why do you know this much?
He kind of is the guy in this movie who knows a lot
He
more.
knows-
Where you're just like, why would you know that?
Yeah, and his interactions with Sid down the line, I was just like,
And that's where they went.
I kept calling him Hot Cop because I couldn't remember his name. But then later on, I was just like, how come I'm not looking so hot right now? You're a little sus. Oh, and the way they just kept saying Sarah Darling.
Yeah, I didn't
Sarah
like
Darling.
her name. Sarah Darling.
Sarah
literally.
Darling.
I
That's how
like
I wanted them to say it. I put like darling.
That's
Like,
from something, isn't that?
And it really, I was waiting for also, especially once her mom started showing up, I was waiting for the Mommy Dearest reference. And it does come later. But something about that too, all of it just, I'm like, I was waiting for Mommy Dearest the whole time. I don't know. I don't know why that made me think of that. But anyways.
So then we have...
I did put, fuck you, Roman. At some point in my notes.
Because at this point, I believe they take him in for questioning, because at that point, that's when he brings in his little...
He's got the statue and he says, what is this?
This is a
and
sign.
like,
I'm going to be
it came from your
targeted
cell
next.
phone.
And then that's whenever Kincaid asked for Dewey's cell phone.
Oh, sorry. It wasn't his... It didn't come from
It was a
cell
clone
phone.
cell phone.
But everyone had said...
That he was the one that called. The roommate was
Yeah.
like, you called and talked to her. Yeah, so they bring him in for questioning because they think he was the last person to see her alive.
And Fake Gal had said something about like, if I would have known, I would have fucked him.
Remind me to never to sleep with that guy again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, fuck you, Roman. I think that's why I said that. Not because I suspected him, but
And
because
then-
I was like...
And then after that, Kincaid asks for Dewey's cell phone, which I'm like, okay, that's a little sus.
Because
like,
later on,
super
Dewey brings it up
suspicious.
and he's like, only 2 people have used my phone. So I also suspect Fake Gal at some point. I become very suspicious of her as well.
And then at this point as well, we have a Ghostface finally finds Sydney and calls her at the her house using her mom's voice, which is pretty fucking traumatizing.
I was like, fuck, that's dirty.
Yeah.
They are doing her dirty using her mom's voice. That is, I just put like, God, poor Sid.
Yeah.
I was like,
and the way that she
this
looks
is-
back at the phone, and it's not her work line, it's her home line. And
Yep.
it's like, oh fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, that was next level, like twisted.
Yeah.
That was honestly fucking twisted. As cheeky as most of this film is, this one is dark.
Yeah.
The way
in the
that
terms
they are
of they're
just
using psychologically, like what,
messing with her mind, bringing
Sydney's
her
trauma.
mom in, like that is just a...
and that's the whole point of the movie. Yeah.
It
yeah.
is,
Towards
yeah.
the end. Yeah, exactly. 'Cause
We
it's
find out.
very much like a retcon that like what we thought we knew is not what we did know.
And so it's just, yeah.
Which is the rules of the trilogy in this movie.
Exactly.
Which we find out.
It's very
and I love
upsetting.
how in this one, the rules of this trilogy, we don't really get them until later on, until like this more second half of the movie. So then it's kind of like, okay, this is all
starting to make sense.
makes sense and kind of foreshadowing what we're about to get. Because then we have Tom and Fake Gal and the weird girl. I call her the new Sydney. I call her weird girl because she's so fucking weird.
I think I just called her something bitch the
Weird
whole
Sydney.
time.
And so they're all in the house, and I think it's what's her Fake Gal's house, right?
Yeah, they're in
Someone's
Jennifer's house,
Yeah,
Fake Gal's
Jennifer's
house.
Yeah.
All of their Y2K fits. I put these Y2K fits, hand clap emoji. I was a fan. I loved all of it.
And they're
which this movie did come out in 2000.
Literally. Even that's exactly where I put Gail's wardrobe changes. I'm here for it. I liked her. I like it because every other scene, like she would have a whole different outfit on. And I'm like, Gail, where are you finding time to change in between all? You're like, you've been in your car the whole time, driving different places.
And then, here they're discussing Tom, who plays Dewey, is sitting there like ripping up the script because Scream 3 has officially been binged.
Yeah.
They're not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
And he's ripping up the thing. He's clearly drunk. He's smoking a cigarette. And he's like, this is like our ending. What do they call it? A rap party?
A rap party. Yeah.
He's like, this is our rap party. And he's reading through the script. And he's clearly upset. And he's got some animosity towards Weird Bitch.
He does.
And at one point, someone was like, it's because, like, well, she turned you down, didn't she? And I was like,
that's right. She did. She turned him down.
Yeah.
But it's the way that they all had something kind of out against her just because she was that, like, as the Tyree said at the beginning, she innocent. When she won her part, like, she didn't act like
and then it comes out later and we also got that thing with Carrie Fisher.
Oh, I loved that part. Yeah.
So that also
tied in
together. It's literally there's no loose ends in any of these films.
There's always something calling back to something else.
It is so it is a tightly woven blanket.
Yes.
All of these.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Well-rounded, no surging left out. It is just
chef's kiss. Really tying the bow onto everything. And so then we have
this is where Gail comes out.
Gail comes, and then we have
her red leather pants.
At this point they are because she's trying to snoop around and sneak in, see what's happening, and she overhears Dewey talking to fake Gail.
You can't hear through windows and walls.
Yeah, no, but
I was like, maybe one was cracked. Yeah, but yes, Dewey and fake Gail have gone to fake Gail's room,
and they're talking about Gail basically, and she's overhearing them. And then we have
I put, he still loves her. And then right after because I had wrote that down, and then
he's like, but she can also be what?
Well, Jennifer, fake Gail says,
"Oh, it sounds like you love her still."
Yeah, and I was like, she thought so too. And then he was like, she's also like annoying and narcissistic, or like
starts bad mouthing her basically, which everybody has some bad qualities, but
then Kronk finds her.
Literally. And then he and then he comes in and he's like, Dewey, I got your girlfriend out here snooping. And then she goes inside, and then they're kind of all like, what's going on? And what'd you remember?
Oh, no, it's just, no, you didn't forget anything. It's just, at this point, I was like, I don't know who this is, because something happened to where I was like, oh, is it one of Maureen's previous lovers doing this? And then I put, is it her mom? Like, I was like, is Maureen Prescott just doing this?
Oh, imagine she comes back.
Yeah.
Fifth one. I hope they do something.
I was like, no, it's not a voice changer. She's just here fucking with her daughter. Like, Maureen actually was a bitch. I don't know, but I legitimately at one point was like, is it her mom? Like, is she come back? I was like, anything could happen.
Storyline for the sixth one, Maureen comes back. She was never murdered, and it was never really her. Sydney was never really her real daughter. And so she always hated that bastard child kind of situation. But I don't know. Okay, weird. Anyways, I don't know how they do that.
Maybe her dad cheated on her.
And that's why she was cheating.
While she was in her 20s in California. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, and so then we have they're all in the house, and then that's whenever Gail shows Dewey the photo of Maureen Prescott, right? Or no.
I don't know. I just put so my notes go, LOL, she thought so too. Kronk came and got her. I put, oh, is one of her lovers doing it? Is it her mom? And then I put, Dewey. And then I put, she was an actress. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So at some point we're getting into Maureen being an actress.
That's right. Because it's because Dewey realized that fake Gail's picture was the same as Maureen's, the location. Remember?
Oh, that's right. The studio 3 or whatever.
They were shot in the same place. So that's why they're like, oh, this was shot here. She was here. And
because they were like, this is the backlot of Sunset Studio or whatever the fuck it was.
And so then we have, then I think after that's whenever Stone gets killed, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's on the phone with Dewey, and he says something about Tatum getting murdered, which was hella fucking rude.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I was like, why the fuck would you say that? And Dewey really literally goes, why the fuck would you say that?
Which isn't really Dewey.
Dewey was on the phone with him. It was actually Dewey on the phone.
No, because then it's like, that makes me really angry.
Oh.
And then it turns out to be Ghostface.
Okay,
it was
does
Ghostface.
pop out.
Yeah, it was
Dang.
Ghostface because at this point, Dewey and Gale were still in the house.
Oh, that's why Dewey wasn't as concerned when he came. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was Dewey. Whoops.
No.
I was wrong, though.
It was the Ghostface.
Okay,
murder
yes.
at this point. And so it was the
inside
Gainesville Ripper.
Inside Dewey's trailer. But yeah, that was a fucking terrible thing to say. And at least Ghostface clued in on that like,
I was like,
well,
well,
that's
you just kind of
pretty
deserved
rude.
it, yeah. And so then he starts stabbing him, and then they have this little altercation in the trailer. And then finally, that's when everybody's in the house, and they're all like, Dewey and Gale come out because they're trying to figure out what's going on. And then that's whenever Gale's like, where is everybody? And then finally you see them all kind of come in one by one. And that's why I like too, because it
Dewey's
makes you,
got his gun ready.
it makes you suspect like,
oh, who's gonna pop up?
Be, well, and it could be it could have been any of them doing it because nobody was accounted for. And so then we have Dewey's got like trigger happy, about to shoot everybody, and then puts it away finally.
Really, I was
and
like, please put that gun away, sir. You're gonna murder someone.
And then and later, and then we have Kronk, who then like is like
dying on the step.
Yeah, then plops right in front of them, and they all are like, wow, oh my god.
And so they're freaking out. Now they're all cornered in the living room / the entryway, the foyer.
Yeah. And
foyer.
And then
they're trying the power gets cut.
The power gets cut off, so then they're going outside, but then the phone
it's the pool again too.
It's
the way that the pool looked, I was like,
might come into play.
But yes, then the phone starts ringing, and it's the
fax machine.
I was like, it's a fax LMAO whenever Fake Gale was like, it's the fax.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is so funny. But then with the script being sent, I was like, oh no, that was genius.
Yeah.
That was genius.
Yeah. So how
so
they're like writing the movie within the movie as it's happening. So it's like they're going in, they're going back and forth, they're trying to get the script, and it's like
they're reading it like, and it's
I thought it was, I really liked the whole like back and forth. I thought it was so funny because then they're like back outside, and then Fake was like, I gotta know what happens. I want to know what happens. And then Tom finally is like, oh, I need to know. And goes back inside.
And then conveniently lights a lighter because it's too dark. He can't read the script.
Right?
The moonlight's not coming through the window enough.
Which is funny because he read just enough but could not read the last word.
He was like, when they smell the what? And then he lit the lighter and it goes gas. And when I read that, I went, oh. And then, that fucking house lit up like the goddamn 4th of July. I am honestly shocked that they were so close.
Oh, yeah.
They would have been dead.
And then just started rolling down the side of the hill.
Jumped over. Yeah, they jumped over the back patio. They really reminded me of like BoJack Horseman's house.
I've never seen that, but I know what you're talking about.
That's great. Anyways.
And so they roll down, and it's the way that finally they're down like on the side of the road, like, obviously in another back into the neighborhood. And then Ghostface pops out and tries to attack.
First, though, Dewey is given the choice to choose
like
between
save,
which Gale, and he chooses the real Gale, which I thought was important. But then, yes, Ghostface shows up and he shoots him multiple times, which we find out later, and also comes back into play. He shot him, but he's gone.
To no avail. Yeah, got away, and then we have Fake Gale being like, "Where are you? We're supposed to protect me."
And then she punches him, and then real Gale
punches Fake Gale.
Bam!
Yeah, it was a really funny scene.
I loved it. And then they find yet another photo of Maureen.
Yeah, as weird girl pops out, and then it's of course like, oh, where were you?
Oh, yep. And that was when I because he said, "How did you get all the way over there?"
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't trust that innocent bitch is what I was calling her.
And that's what she was playing the whole time.
Yeah, because I was like, no.
Oh, and I loved whenever real Gale punched Fake Gale, and she's like, my lawyer liked that.
Yep.
It was so funny.
And she said something like, I liked that too. Or I liked it a lot more.
Yeah. And
so good.
Then finally, we have this picture going back to the police station, and then they look on the back of it.
Coming for Dewey. Oh, yes. It says, I
killed Maureen, or did it, or something like that.
Yeah, it says I killed Maureen. I killed her.
I killed her. So then that's when we figure out that someone else was the person who killed Maureen, not just Stu and Billy Loomis, which then both Dewey and Gale are like, no, we know it was Stu and Billy. Like, they had admitted it. And that's whenever Kincaid is like, well,
there could have been a third.
And like Sydney got it wrong the first time. So who's to say it wasn't wrong this time too?
Yeah.
And so then he's like, call Sydney in. And then
they're essentially having a dick measuring contest too between Dewey and him.
That's true. And then finally Dewey's then about to call Sydney, but it's so funny that like as he's calling her, she just miraculously shows up to the police station.
Magic, yeah.
And it's the way that I'm like, how do you explain? And then like 2 seconds later, she explains it. Oh, the news said this is the precinct that we were at. She's like, where's Kincaid? And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, I was literally like writing the note at the same time, like, how the fuck would she know to show up there? Yeah.
And then she's there. I love the way when she so she gets into the room and Gail's like, he works fast.
Yeah.
But he gets into the room and she says, the killer called me. And they were like, what did she say? And she was like, oh, usual small talk. How you doing? How do you want to die?
Literally.
It's like,
yeah, it's funny.
She's just brushing it off.
At this point, I mean, she's a little jaded because it's just like, like this is not my first rodeo, literally.
Fake Gail yet again.
Yeah.
Yep. Both on her fake.
And so she they're talking to Kincaid and they're trying to figure out what's going on. Finally, the phones get brought up, and that's whenever they're trying to figure out how they got Sydney's number. And it's like, well, was it saved on Dewey's phone? And then that's whenever he's like, well, I only let Fake Gail and you use
it in
it.
your memory, and he's trying to recall. And then they're like, your phone memory.
Yeah. And then I loved how whenever he like threw that back at Kincaid was like, I'm the officer. I'm the cop here. And I'm like, oh, that don't mean anything.
That don't mean shit. Dewey could still be the murderer, and he's a cop too.
Literally.
So fuck you.
And so they have all
trust
that.
No one.
And so then finally they're what? They're going back to set?
Yeah, they're going back to set to try and investigate some. Yeah. But then we get kind of a jump scare from Randy's sister.
That's right.
She's from like the Princess Diaries, right? Yeah. So that was kind of fun.
And it's the way that they're like, it's not like we've ever met this before, but they're just like, it's Randy's sister. Of course, it's like, duh. Don't you recognize her? I'm like, no, none of us have ever.
She's literally never been in a single
new
film.
Character.
I did not know he had siblings. Turns out he had. Oh wait, no, the other one was his roommate.
Yeah.
But
and so
yeah, like we didn't know.
And so Randy's sister gives. Oh, and it's the way. Oh, right before that, they're all on the set looking. Kincaid leaves, and his that partner is like, "Oh, what you gonna do? Go get her flowers or something like that, or get her like." It's
he has another one-liner that
like alludes to like, where's Kincaid going right now? Like leaving. Yeah. And so
because it was convenient that he was gone for all of what is about to happen here in a little bit.
And so then Randy's sister then gives them the video, which is a tape of Randy
essentially being like, if you're watching this, I'm dead.
Yeah. And here are the new rules for the trilogy.
And I love that he was like, he had some fucking kinky porno section movie sex.
Oh yeah. And how he lost his virginity. And so they're talking.
But yes, he's coming in with the rules.
About the rules. And number one, it's hard to kill the killer.
Killers typically superhuman. Can be shot multiple times. It doesn't go down.
Number two, anyone can die.
Including the main character. So and then this is where he references Reservoir Dogs.
Nobody's off the table.
Yep.
And then we've got three. The past will come to bite you.
In the ass.
Literally.
Num num. And I put essentially all bets are off, which also comes into play later. I was like, oh, he said what I said.
Yeah. And so and I'm like, oh, I miss Randy.
Yeah, I did too.
But then we have them we have fake Gail, real Gail.
And it's the way he said, some of y'all, I might be seeing you soon.
Yeah.
And I was like, God bless Randy.
Yeah.
Miss him. But yeah,
and it was
I might be seeing y'all soon. I was like, ooh.
The way his sister's like, we miss y'all. Come back home. Like, I'm like, okay. Like, they've obviously got some shit going on.
Where have you been?
And so then I loved then Gail's going to go snoop. She's trying to get into the studio. She has an idea. She's going to go to look in some records.
She's trying to find more info about those photos. And her face is busted there. I didn't realize how busted it was until this scene. And then I was like, oh, girl.
Yeah.
Damn. Like her chin is like, not only does it have like a golf ball size welt out of it, it is split. I was like, you might need stitches for that. Like,
and then fake Gail pops up and she's like, I loved how she's like, I'm just gonna shadow you because someone wants to kill you, and if I'm with you, they won't kill me because then they're gonna kill you
because they got the real option.
Exactly.
They're gonna kill you first.
And so which, hey, I can't, there's no flaw in that logic to me.
No, I mean, it made perfect sense.
And so then we have the two gals together, which to me is just funny. Like, I love the way that they interact with each other.
In the background they have that slinky music that almost reminds me of the you know, the Good Spy, Bad Spy, those like commercials.
Okay, yeah.
It kind of gave me those vibes, like, and almost like a Pink Panther. Like,
I was just thinking Pink Panther.
Yeah.
They're very Nancy Drewing it right now.
The
trying
whole
to get to the bottom.
time. And so I feel like it really kind of solidifies the fact that they are a comedic duo too. Very entertaining to watch. Yeah.
And then, especially it's funny because they're both playing. Trying to be the same
They're
gal.
both Gail.
Yeah, they're both Gail.
She's like, my Gail would do it this way.
Literally.
I love it.
And so then we have them going downstairs to some records, and we see Princess Leia.
Carrie
Fisher.
How about Carrie Fisher? Hell yes.
Yeah, it's a cute little, what do you call it again?
An homage, a nod.
Cameo in a way.
Cameo,
Like a cameo, because she's not playing herself, but she's referencing herself.
And she was like, that bitch slept with the director to get there, kind of thing, which comes into play
later on. Yeah. But anyways, she helps her because fake Gail gives her the ring, and she's like, it's worth $2,000.
Fucking real Gail tried to slip her 50, and I was like, a 50, lol. Yeah. Like, this bitch is gonna break laws.
Yes.
For a $50 bill? Come on.
And then we finally find out that if they were looking for Maureen Prescott, they wouldn't find her because she didn't go by that name at that time. She was going by Rena Reynolds. What a name.
Yep. And she had starred in at least 3 horror films, all being produced by
John
Milton.
Milton. Yeah.
Who was conveniently producing the Stab
movies
franchise.
Yeah. And so then we have at the same time we have that scene with Angelina, which is the weird chick's name.
Innocent bitch.
She's in the restroom, and it's kind of reminiscent of whenever Sydney was in the restroom of the first movie.
Dope ass soap dispensers. I put hell yeah, same dope ass soap dispensers as first movie.
Good callback.
And then she's talking to herself in the mirror again. And then it was the way it went in reverse this time, because Sid recognized it. She was like, oh, this is similar.
Yeah.
And then crouches down, sees the boot go up onto the thing.
Down. Yeah.
Which is weird. Like, why was she doing that?
Yeah.
So that made me suspect her even more, because I was like, why are you crawling up on the toilet? Fucking weirdo. Like, what are you doing?
Fucking weirdo. And
if you didn't want to be caught.
Then Sydney, I love how Sydney opens the door too, because she ain't afraid.
Yeah, she's like, ready to fight. It in.
And then we have weird girl being weird and stealing like the mask and all these things off the setup. Like, that's her excuse, but I'm like, that seems very suspicious.
That's
like
convenient.
Sus. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I don't trust that bitch.
But then there's also, I thought like it also can't be her, because then I'm like, what Ghostface would get caught like that? Like, it can't, like, because then we already know. Like, I don't know. It's just like, but yeah.
But she does play the role
later on in the movie too. I'm thinking like, oh, maybe she has something on it. She's like the new Stu, like kind of ditzy.
And then
killer.
She's also super obsessed with the Milton films. She mentions she's got a few later on where she's just like, oh, I love this film of his, kind of thing. And so it made me really
maybe she would have seen Sydney's mom in those old films and then been connected to it.
Some sort of obsession.
True that.
Came from it.
And so then finally we have Sydney trying to return something, a hairbrush, to Angelina, and she goes on the set.
And I put, oh damn, welcome home, Sid.
Literally, which is like so triggering properly.
Yeah, I was like, this has got to be so tropey.
And so then she's
she
in there.
sees Tatum's death scene.
Yeah.
The garage
and there was
door.
Blood on the garage's little door too, and it's like, ooh, shit.
Yeah.
And so then we have her going upstairs to her old bedroom, and then we have
there's a Creed poster on the wall.
Literally,
it's like not the Creed poster.
Making it just like it was. And so then we have her not getting a phone call. She hears a voice, right, or something. No. The door starts like moving.
Yeah, and she does the same trick that she did in the first one, where her bedroom door locks with essentially
closet door.
Yeah. She can put them and then they can't get open because they're jammed together.
What she did to her dad.
Yeah.
And then
she does it again.
And then she backs up towards the window, and then somehow, I don't know how, Ghostface is outside on the fake second story landing.
Yeah, pulls her through the window onto the food set, I guess.
The craft services. Yeah. And then they end up having a little tussle, and she gets away. And I love how she like throws like a bread basket at it, like it's gonna do anything.
Yeah.
And then we have the whole chase scene of her like going through the house again and up the stairs, and like doing an homage to then Cece like throwing the plant down the stairs.
Yep.
And so I thought it was pretty pretty good callback.
But hell yes, throw that plant just like Buffy did. Yep. Oh, and the way that she runs through. So once she gets to the second story, and the way that she runs through, and it's that essentially fake door that leads down to another part of a set, which is like, that makes sense. I assume sets could potentially be built like that. Yeah. But that just made it so much more cool. I don't know. The whole time I was just like, that's okay. That's neat.
It's a cool sequence.
Yeah.
And then
the way she throws Ghostface out through it,
because she knows that it was the Ghostface was about to come through it.
Yeah. No, I thought that was
the
neat.
way that Ghostface just ended up being on the bed, landing on the bed perfectly. I'm just like, of course, but still
convenient, but
but hey, that's how the set is.
Yeah.
And so she's getting all attacked through this, and then she goes into her parents' bedroom, and then it's a recreation of her mom's death scene.
Yeah, she finds the body that's supposed to be her mom's corpse. Starts talking. She's hearing her mother's voice at this point.
Stu's voice, hearing Billy's voice.
Yeah,
talking about how they murdered her mom.
And at this point, it really does like. I was like, they're trying to frame her as being crazy.
Yeah.
Like I put that once she got through the window and like smashed through.
And then she's like, my mom. And then my mom. And it's like, obviously your mom's not in there. But she was like, I saw her. And I was like, no, they're trying to frame her. They're
now.
gaslighting her.
Yeah. And
I wrote, Sydney is broken.
He is. Poor Sid.
And that
Jesus
it could be
Christ.
anybody at this point.
Yeah. Because then all of the people we've been suspecting thus far run up. Yeah. So Dewey comes, Kincaid comes, innocent bitch, weird bitch comes.
Yeah.
All of them come. And it's just like, where the fuck were you guys this whole time? Like, I know the movie has been officially called off, but like, where the fuck were you? I know that this set wasn't so deserted that none of y'all heard her screaming bloody fucking murder.
Yeah.
She was
they did apparently because they came in running for her, but like, why did it take so long?
Yeah, why so fucking late?
And so then we have obviously
they're trying to take her to a safe house.
They're trying to take her to a safe house,
which I was like, we already know that doesn't work. Yeah, and she gets in the fucking cop in the car with Kincaid, and I was like, Sydney, this has happened to you before.
That's literally exactly.
They drove you. You could get crashed, and do you not remember how Hallie like?
It's so good though. It's so good. And then we have Maureen.
And I put don't go with Hot Cop. I don't trust him either.
Don't trust them. And then we have them going to Milton's office because they want to talk about shit. And then we find Roman there, and he's talking about his party, bringing that he's gonna have a birthday party later, which comes.
He's worried about being 30.
Yes.
Not having produced his love film or whatever he wanted to do. He's stuck producing this film.
And so then they bring up Maureen, which is really Rena Reynolds, to the producer. And then he's like, he knew her, but he couldn't say that he knew her because, of course, he was producing the movie over her death. And so that would cause some conflict of interest and be a red flag for
leans
the studio.
into him. Yeah. And then it essentially goes into literally everything that's fucking wrong with society and with Hollywood in general, and with the way that...
It's the way that it talked about the Me Too movement before we had to deal with that a few years ago, and like what was happening,
and the fact that we're still dealing with it,
and
the fact that multiple celebrities are being, the fact that they have committed such terrible crimes against people.
There's a lot of things that keep people protected.
And they're still being, and the way that he's just like, this is the way show business is. If you want to get ahead, he was like, she came to this party knowing that it was going to be this.
She asked for it, basically.
Yes, she asked for it, is what he was saying. And I was just like,
she knew what she was getting into. She
at this point,
it.
I was like, it sounds like she was raped. Clearly.
Yeah, that's what I put.
And I put
Maureen
fuck you,
was
Milton.
probably raped.
And then we find out later it was a gang rape.
Yeah.
I believe there was 3 people in on it.
Yeah. We find out from Roman.
So
we have all this stuff. We have them talking to him, and then we have a cutaway to Sydney talking to Kincaid, and it's the way that
he says all bets are off.
Yeah, and it's the way that he also says he makes himself sound suspicious because he's like,
he does.
I've grown up around here. I know my way around the studios. Like I'm like, oh, it's a quiet
and
candy
then
to know your way around all that.
Like, what's your favorite horror film?
He's like, my life.
Yeah. And all of everything, I was just like, this whole time, I was like, don't like Hot Cop.
Yeah.
I was like, is he an obsessed fan?
Kate is very suspicious.
And then If my notes are so hot and cold, I was like, yeah, I don't like Hot Cop. I was like a scene obsessed fan. And then I was like, okay, maybe he is fine. And then he was like his wife. He said his life, and I was like, no, what?
Yeah,
like,
he goes back and forth from sounding like the good guy or the bad guy.
Yeah,
yeah, which was the whole point probably with his
I
character,
was just
to be a huge red herring.
In like 2 minutes. I was like, he's bad. It's him. It's him. And then I was like, okay, no, maybe he's not. And then I was like, no, it's him. Like.
And so then we get Sydney and Dewey getting a phone call, and they think it's Sydney telling them that she's going to be at that house party. And so then we have them going to the house. And
I could tell then. I was like, yeah, that's not Sydney.
Yeah, I was like, in my note, I'm like, I don't think that was Sydney. There's no way that that's Sydney. And
like it clearly was her voice. It sounded like her, but the way that she was delivering all of her phrases and words and stuff, it wasn't
Sydney
her.
Would. Yeah. And so then we know Sydney. And then at this, they end up to the house, and I'm just like, what kind of party is this? Like, it's just them, the actors. And they're just like, I guess Roman's getting drunk.
Like, oh, well, he is a sad, lame character. So
yeah. I was like, okay, yeah, good for you kind of party.
And again, I was like, yeah, Angelina's in on it. The way that she was talking at the beginning, I was like,
yeah, she's being pretty creepy. And then the way that like Roman wants to go look for the screening room, and she's like, I will go with you. Or no, that's fake Gail. But the way that they all...
No, Randy 2.0 does say something like...
Yeah, we shouldn't split up.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't y'all know.
I was like, tell him, Randy.
Yeah.
Like,
but of course, they split up. And then even fake Angelina is like... Or fake Sydney is like, it's okay. We'll be together. We'll stick together.
And even fake Gail says like, I don't... Oh, it's when she gets to the top of the stairs. Sorry. Yeah. I put trust your gut, fake Gail.
Yeah.
It's because, so fake Gail and Roman went off together, and then Randy 2.0 and Angelina
went off together.
And
that's whenever they're all doing their own thing, and then Sydney and Dewey are looking for, or trying to figure out like where Sydney is, because obviously she called them to there, but she's not there.
Yeah,
so
and they had stayed in the main foyer waiting for her.
Gail is like, call your caller ID back, and then that's whenever Gail always has like the smartest like ideas. And then,
wait. So before that, another point where I mentioned earlier, when Weird Bitch is running up the stairs, she's pointing out different Milton films. And I was like, okay, look, she's clearly obsessed with Milton. Yeah. She was like, I love this film. And Randy 2.0 was like, I've never seen that. I've never heard of that. And so then I was like, she's clearly Milton obsessed. And then it goes down and we get Roman opening the casket.
Oh yeah.
Which,
and it's a fake prop, like skeleton body.
Yeah. Was it from
the crypt? I don't know.
It looked, I don't know. It like kind of reminded me of like some Poltergeist vibes or something too. And I was just like, I don't know. Anyways, but then yes, and then I put, look what I put.
The call is coming from inside the house, literally.
Because when they called, I was like,
so she calls back the caller ID, and the call is coming from inside the house.
If you would have been there, I would have looked at you and was like, I was like, oh, Josh.
I love saying that. And so then they realize that Ghostface left their gear in the little wardrobe, and they find the little doohickey that's changing everybody's voice, it has everybody's voice.
Gail's just clicking through it, and it's like, she's like, they have all of our voice, like
literally.
That's when you realize you're like, oh fuck, this is some next level shit. Yeah,
literally. And that's why we've been suspecting everybody. And so we have
Dewey comes up with the line, and he says, looks like Stab 3 is back in production. I was like,
the one-liners with Dewey. And then we have them splitting up, right? Because he's gonna go do something, and then Ghostface takes no, not yet. Sorry.
I did put don't split up, dummies.
Yeah,
so
they split up. That's right. But that's whenever.
Yeah, they did split up.
Yeah,
because Monica's downstairs.
Yeah.
Looking through the props. I put haha dead Roman in a casket.
Literally.
I was like, haha, he died.
And
died.
At that point,
he died.
So
I didn't suspect him.
Yeah, Gail finds Roman fake dead in a coffin, but at that point you thought like, oh, okay, well, he's out.
He's off the table. He's off the table.
But it's the way too that like
everybody, I was a little bit surprised.
But everybody else gets shown killed, and he's the one death that you don't get shown killed, and that's why I was like, thinking as a first time watch, I'm like, that's suspicious.
That's suspicious.
That we didn't see him get killed.
That's weird.
And so then we get
a little jump scale
from fake Gail jumping out. I know it's Gail. We have fake Gail jumping out, and she's like, "Is he dead?" And she's like, "I don't know," but yes, because she checked his pulse. And so then they leave. they're going upstairs, and that's when or out of the whatever they are basement prop room, and they find the weird girl again, right? Weird Sydney.
She was like, because she was so excited. She was like, "Look at the secret passageway that I found."
She's like about to drag them into it.
And so I was like, I don't trust her.
I don't trust her. And then
I was like, why does she know the secret passageway?
And then she's like, I'm getting out of here. And
she's
that's
like,
when
I
she
should
has her
have
breakdown.
fucked that pig Milton for this role. And I was like, oh, there it is.
And the way that both the girls are just looking at each other like, well, okay. And she runs off, and then we hear her getting fucking murdered.
Yeah. And then we've just got this is where I was like, oh my God, these two, they are so dramatic together. And I loved it.
It's so great because when they go see the body like getting dragged off, they just have that moment where they just look at each other and scream at the same time. Like,
which I loved her body being dragged off. That was good. It borderline reminded me of the body bag scene from Freddy Krueger.
Oh, yeah. And also just even scary because it's like literally the killer is right below
there.
you
right
know
there.
That.
And then I was like, why would you scream like that too?
Yeah.
Like, this bitch already dead. He could just come for you.
Yeah.
Like, he clearly isn't concerned about hiding the bodies.
Yeah.
But yeah, they... The way that they're just, it kind of reminds me like almost like two best friends going through a haunted house.
Yeah, very much so.
They're just like holding each other's arms, and they're just like, with everything that comes around the corner. And I know, I just loved their whole interaction. It was so fun.
It gave me very,
and I didn't mind that cheesy pants scream when they sat there, and it
gave me Scary Movie 2. Whenever they're in the big castle mansion.
Yeah.
That's what that gave me now that I think about it. But I think this one, Scary Movie 2 came out after, but I'm not even sure.
Maybe.
But yeah, maybe that influenced it as well. A little mixture.
We do need to cover those for fun someday.
Right? And so, they have, then they somehow... They end up all together in the bedroom or somewhere, right?
So from there, I just have Tyson and Dewey are down. Yes,
because they all up in the bedroom, and that's whenever Ghostface comes, and it's basically Ghostface versus everybody.
Tyson, and at one point, I think Tyson was like, "Yeah, I was with Angelina, and then now she's gone. She just disappeared." And so I was like, "I fucking think it is Angelina," and I was like, maybe she is still in on it. I don't know. I was still suspicious of her.
Yeah.
But yes, Tyson and Dewey are down, and then I was like, secret passage maybe coming in clutch, but no, Fake Gal gets stuck back there.
Gets stuck behind the mirror, and then Ghostface is after her. And this death is like, oh fuck, because at this point, I mean, I want to say, it's the way that I couldn't tell, but I'm pretty sure Dewey shot her, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I was worried that was going to happen. I couldn't tell. So we've got this giant panel of double-sided mirrors, or once. What's that called?
It's not double.
Like when you're in the police room.
Yeah. No,
being interrogated.
I get what you mean.
Yeah. One side is a reflection. The other side you can see through
it. Yeah.
And there's like 5 panels or something, and it looks like a closet. And it's apparently soundproofed as well, which is like, what the fuck was Milton up to anyways?
Literally.
Because that's sketchy.
Some creepy shit.
Apparently he's probably in he was with fucking Epstein.
That's what I was just thinking, literally.
Like, Jesus. But yeah, Dewey shoots each one. I couldn't tell. It looked like maybe he shot up
above her, and it's the way that it looked like she was already dead and came through. But like, to me, it almost looked like he almost helps in killing her.
Probably. I mean, that could. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if maybe like Ghostface had just because he's there at the same time, kind of stabbing her.
Really
you don't
crazy,
ever really see her get physically stabbed or physically shot. You just see like the tension from either side, and then boom, she
pops out.
And she's dead.
Yeah.
And then we get a pretty funny. This is where
Scream.
I put Gail scream what?
Yeah.
Oh, but it's the way that right before Fake Gal goes, "You can't kill me. I'm the killer in Stab 3."
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And so I guess in the script, or maybe she was trying to make her own script. I don't know.
I'm not sure, but
that it's not ever touched again.
I remember her saying that too, and I don't know. Maybe that was supposed to make it sound like, I don't know, implicate things for.
Because I was still kind of suspecting her a little bit too.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure how I felt, but then she was just dead, and I was like, oh, okay. And then Gail's scream is comedic.
Yeah, and then we have them all running away. We have that in that same sequence. Tyson got murdered. The way he's running away and gets flipped with the rug, and then gets thrown out the window.
That was that way that his body hit
it. Yeah,
after
very
the
Scorpion.
Rug. Yeah. I was like, Oh, that looked like it fucking hurt. Because at first I was like, LOL. This is
he
like,
was already stabbed.
It felt like very Tom and Jerry, but then the way his body hit, I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I was like, no,
brutal.
that's hard.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Very, very brutal.
Yeah, that was.
And then we have somehow, I don't really recall at the moment, but Dewey and
Gale split up
again because
he was going to find
Tyson, and then she's just, I don't know, she gets pulled away from Ghostface. That's right. And then they get into that whole thing where they like fall down the stairs.
And I put heads rolling once again.
Yes, because of the guillotine, little fake guillotine. And then we have Ghostface there on the floor, like knocked out. And then she's trying to call Dewey, like, I'm down here. And he's like, how do I know it's the real you? And then like they have that little moment. Yeah, because everything that was happening.
Would also question it. I was like, good job, Dewey.
And then we have Dewey opening the door. And Ghostface just like, the way that Ghostface just like, throws the knife and then it hits Dewey with the butt of it. And he falls down. And then we got both Gail and Dewey down for the count. And
down at the bottom. Yeah. And this is where I, again, thought Hot Cop was in on it because he was absent. Yeah. And his partner
said,
someone asked him,
like, where's Kincaid? And like, oh, we saw him go out. While Sydney's at the gas station, at the police station. And then she's snooping in Kincaid's office, and that's when she finds the file on her, and it gives the very like he looks like he's obsessed with her in a sense.
Yes, it very much does. And like when you think about it, of course
he's gonna have that stuff to like investigate. Yeah, he wants to have all the details, but it's still super suspicious.
But yes, I could see how from her perspective, I would be like, why are you so obsessed with me? Mariah Carey kind of shit.
And then then Gail gets the phone call from Ghostface and is using Dewey and Gail as bait to be like, we come over here.
Sid gets the phone call. But yes.
Sid. Yeah.
And it's trippy. Call. It's her own voice.
Yeah.
Being at first, it's repeating everything that she says.
And she thinks that whoever she's talking to, it's like, I'm only hearing myself.
Yeah.
Her echo.
And then we get that it's Ghostface, and then she was like, how do I know if this is actually Dewey and Gail?
Yeah.
But then she's like, okay, no, it is. And then she looks, and I was honestly shocked that they make guns that small that she finds in Kincaid's
it was so tiny.
Desk.
It was a baby gun.
Yeah, I was like,
baby gun.
I was just one. It just felt like a water gun.
Yeah, it was very little.
Because I was like, I've had water guns that small and they barely went like pink.
Yeah, and because when she brings it up later again, because we then have her showing up to the pool to the party house, whatever, and she gets a phone call again from Ghostface, who's like, you give good you follow instructions well, because she did what she was supposed to do, and she gets there, and he makes her use the metal detector to like make sure she doesn't have anything on her, literally.
Next to Rowan.
Tyson. And then it's the way that when she pulls it out, the gun looks so small compared to her hand. Like, it's crazy.
It's so tiny.
And so then she throws it into the pool behind her. And then she's like, how do I know that you didn't already kill Dewey and Gail? And he's like, look for yourself. They're there waiting for you. And so then she sees Dewey and Gail. She goes in to try to save them. And she's like untying them. And it's the way she's like, where is the killer? And then Dewey's like, I don't know. And he's like, right there.
Behind you.
Literally.
And then she turns around him and she shoots at him. And I was like, he won't be dead with 6 or 7 shots. It's in the rules.
Yeah.
You know this.
Superhuman.
And then Kincaid shows up.
Literally.
Once the body is gone, Kincaid comes around the corner, and I was like, Kincaid is it.
Yeah.
The way that he was delivering the lines too, and he was like, drop the gun. I was like, don't drop that gun, Sydney. Don't drop that gun. Shoot him.
But yeah.
And it wasn't him.
It wasn't him.
I was mad.
And then we get
I was so sure.
Kincaid jumping in front of Sydney to try to help her, and it's the way that he pushes her down, and she hits her fucking head on the chair.
She does.
So hard.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And then once she gets up, she goes, you want me? Come and get me. And I was like, bitch, why? Why would you leave your 2 friends there? B, why would you run around in a house that you do not know the surroundings? You do not have the upper hand here.
But split-second decisions, I mean, I get it. You're getting attacked. She's maybe trying to just take them away from Dewey and Gail so that way they're not in danger, but still. But yeah, and so at that point, we have them going into the screening room, and that's whenever she sees those movies, or I don't know, footage of her mom that I guess...
She gets through secret passage once again.
Yeah.
But yeah, sees videos of her mom putting on her makeup and stuff, and then hears her mom's voice saying like, "Come in here, sweetie. Like, yes, wasn't I so beautiful? Blah blah blah," kind of stuff. And then you get the body bag or corner sheet.
Yeah.
Coming around the corner, the same one from the death scene.
Fucking with poor Sydney.
Yeah, I put, damn, this is fucked. Like, it was just fucked up. And then he pulls off the sheet and it's Ghostface under it.
Yeah.
And then he pulls it up and he's like, yeah, bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And that's whenever we have the reveal that it's Sydney's half brother, because then he's talking about how
I was like, he's her brother?
Rena
nice.
Reynolds was his mom. She ended up going to that screening room in that exact room and getting, what do you say? Oh my gosh, fucked 3 ways to Sunday or sideways like to that. Sunday. It just made it sound really bad. And so
then
basically
I was like,
he was
a
product of...
It's gotta be some sort of gang rape.
Yeah, and
rape.
So he was a product of her getting raped, and then he finally found her, and when he went to go seek her and be like, I'm your child, she completely rejected him.
Which I'm sorry that this is like literally why abortion should be. It's not anyone's.
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
Yeah.
Like, well, clearly, that's got to be so. That has always been one of my biggest arguments with it. Is like, if this was to be a product of rape, and to have like all the time, maybe it's only in the movies, but. Those kids eventually try to find their birth parent. Yeah. And if they found them and then to find out that you were a product of rape, that's got to be traumatizing as fuck to the kid.
I mean, already in itself, like, they feel like they weren't wanted,
Yes,
so there's different levels and layers to that.
So there's just so much, and it's just fucking, it's fucked.
There's a lot of
because it's not like I would not want that kid either.
Yeah.
I don't want kids in general. But like, I mean.
But yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. It's just,
it's a horrible, really horrible position to be in for all parties, for every human's aspect, the person who got raped, the child who is a product of that. Like there's just a lot of layers to that. And in this case, it made him lose his mind and have a lot of anger and vengeance against her and want to kill her. And so then, because she said, "You're dead to me," she said, "Rena Reynolds is dead," and so that's what inspired him to be like, "Well, you know what? You're going to be dead too," as Maureen Prescott.
Let's make it happen.
And so then he, because he's
and I'm guessing,
director,
is he
orchestrated.
Milton's son as well?
No,
okay.
I don't think so.
I thought that maybe he was like connected. Like I thought that's why like he was at Milton's house in general, having the cake and their stuff with him.
It could be, maybe
it was just because they were directing it together. But then the fact that he said that Milton like fucked her in this room and stuff too, that I was like, is he Milton's?
See, I don't. Did he say that? Because I just don't know that like he said that he like ruined her life or fucked her life up.
I took it as he was in that room and took part in it. But I don't know.
Could have. Who knows? Either way, he still allowed it to happen and still didn't do anything about it and all those things. So yeah, and was probably doing and
multiple other fucked up things. Yeah.
And so we have all of this. He basically orchestrated everything from the beginning of the movies.
He directed all of it.
Found Stu, Billy Loomis, and like showed him the video of Maureen and his dad, and so that's what kind of started the kickoff for everything. And he kind of instructed Stu on Billy on how to go about everything. But
how to like get Stu to frame him. Yeah, all that stuff. He literally was just. He was there from the beginning.
Which
he had
is
his hand in all of it.
Kind of crazy because then it
didn't seem like his hand was so much in the second film.
No, it's not at all, because then that's a whole different. That's Billy's mom.
But the original murders, it was his actions that made it happen.
So that was all in itself. Yeah, it's a little bit like the whole. I mean, they take a whole pretty big. Leap with the whole retconning, because it's basically changing everything that we do know. So this movie does things a lot differently, even the way that it's like there's only one killer in this movie, whereas previously there's two.
I was waiting for the second one. I was still waiting for Kincaid to pop up.
And so
I really thought it was going to be him. And this is also where we get the Mommy Dearest reference. Also. Sorry.
Yes. And so then we have a whole
Nice sibling fight.
Because he wants to frame Sydney, but of course Sydney's not going down easily.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's monologuing, and then finally they goes into like, I love, they go into the fight, and then they're getting tossed around, both of them, more her. And
meanwhile, Dewey and Gale are trying to get in.
They're trying to get in.
Trying to figure out the secret passage door.
Then we have, it's finally Roman putting bullets into Sydney, which at that point I'm like, oh shit. Because at that point, were the lights already off? Did Dewey cut the lights off? Yes.
So at this point, Dewey went and put essentially tweezers into a light socket.
Yeah.
And kicked all the breakers, fried everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, but why would you turn the lights off? Like, honestly, that's going to make it probably harder for Sydney too. Like, what if she was the one winning? And then now you just kind of put her at a disadvantage. I don't know. I thought that was not a solid move on his part. But then, so he shoots her. And at this point, I put, that gun didn't get her. Yeah. I could tell, like, the way that she rolled over. I was like, nah. Yeah. This bitch ain't
She's
dead.
faking it out. And so then finally, we have her popping back up after she pulls a ghost face, because obviously Ghostface always gets away whenever you think they're dead, and he's kind of like, oh,
he
what
looks
the
back
fuck?
and she's gone, and he's like, what?
Then that phone rings, and then she just pops out of nowhere and starts stabbing him in the neck, and
I was
then
like,
he's like screaming, and
she
then
stabs him.
She finally gets him down, and then
she stabs him twice, and then it's the third stab,
because that's whenever he's like, I got to make my movie, and she's like, oh yeah, what's it called? Stab 3
and stabs
third
him.
stab.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's good.
And so then
this bitch just killed a lot of people now.
Finally, literally, we have them going, oh, that's dying. Whenever Dewey and Gale come in, and she's like, it was freaking Roman. And then that's whenever Dewey's like, be careful, because the killer's never dead. And then he's superhuman, and she's like,
she also held his hand to die. Yeah. And I was like, why are you fucking holding his hand? Like, fuck him. I don't care if he's your half brother.
I think
he just tried to fucking murder you.
I think in some aspects she maybe felt sorry for like her inner child of like the product of all of that, like hatred and like, you know, I mean,
I get it, but fuck him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because also, I mean, as much as it was a product of like horrible circumstances, Maureen was just as like the way, I'm sure, rejecting someone and like shutting them out, like that's plays an intricate role of that. So maybe she felt bad in that. And I mean, obviously at this point, she probably doesn't have a good relationship or understanding of her mother, because at this point her mom is like had all these secrets, and so then we have
they have to do that double tap headshot,
have to kill him in the head, shoot him in the head.
Dewey's like shooting him, and she was like, the head.
And finally he's dead.
And then we cut to,
we have a whole scene of them being back in a safe house, or her safe house,
right?
It
looked like the same place. And I was like, are they just a little happy family now? I was like, what?
Yeah, so Kincaid's there. That's whenever we get the proposal between Dewey and Gale.
At this point, we don't know Kincaid's there yet, but
yeah.
He comes and he's like, will you sign this book for me? And it's Gale's book. And she was like, I thought you hated this. And he was like, oh, just sign it. And she was like, okay, fine.
It's a ring in a book.
He opens it. Yep. And I was like, ew, come on. And then I was like, okay, fine. That's a fitting proposal though. And the way he's like, I don't think it'll work. You don't think it'll work. But this is just me asking to try and prove us wrong. And I was like, oh, okay, fine.
It's not going to work.
Cute.
And but so then we have them. Yes. They're at this safe house, and then
we get this nice scene of Sid coming up,
and then she sees Kincaid. He's like in a cast. It's obviously pretty soon after everything that happened.
Yeah, when she was walking up the driveway too, I was like, what a nice glowy ending. I can't wait for something to ruin it.
Right. And so then we get in. She tries to do the lock on the door or whatever, but somehow the door pops open.
Yeah, it just opens up again.
But it's the way that she leaves it open. Because I think
why the fuck would you leave it?
It's supposed to symbolize that like she feels like, okay, it's all done. Like we're done. Like that was the guy who orchestrated everything. Everybody's good now. Like, yeah, I'm no longer need to be scared. Not. And then it just cuts.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we're done with Scream 3.
And it's like, ugh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I liked that one of the directors, whose last name was Kruger.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, oh, I don't know. That's not planned or anything, but I don't know. Yeah. And that was when I realized that fucking Monica and him were actually married. I was like, what the hell? I don't know.
So I think it's rating time.
Boo times.
Yeah.
How many boos?
I'm gonna give it a solid 3.
3. Oh.
3. I'll give it a 3.
That was lower than I was expecting from you, honestly.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I give it a solid 3. I think it holds itself. It holds its own. The whole retconning, to me, kind of the only undercuts like Stu and Billy's like major, like, you know, and then that leading into the second one. Like, I don't know, maybe a different killer would have done something different for me, as opposed to it being like a half brother that we never knew anything really about.
Okay.
But
I thought that was a nice plot twist.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, cool.
No, but I mean, I'm not mad at it. Just a good 3. Like, I think I like it at a 3. 3 boos.
Okay. 3 boos.
Yeah. But please give it whatever you want to give it.
I think I'm going to go with a 3.5.
A 3.5?
Yeah.
You want to give it a 4?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah.
I liked it. I did like it.
You know what? I'll give it a 3.5. We'll give it 2 solid 3.5s.
A 3.5 solid. Yeah. Because again, I was like, at first I was like, ugh, I don't know how I feel about this. But then I did get involved and I was like, okay, actually, I like this. This is fun.
Yeah.
And so I did end up liking it. And I liked the plot twist of it being her half brother. There were a few things that I was like, not my fave. But overall, I still think it was a solid third film, which is rare.
Yeah.
You don't ever come across really a third film that you're like, this was good. Unless it's like Lord of the Rings.
I was literally just thinking Lord of the Rings.
Those are different.
That's a different
They're
genre.
different stories within themselves.
That's world building. That's a whole it's
It's not they're not really a sequel.
Yeah.
It is the second film
it's
in a series.
It's like one whole story that
Yes.
just can't be told in one movie because
Exactly.
it's so fucking long.
And
that's all.
so that I feel like is like a true trilogy, and then this is
I'm gonna go watch that one again.
a third one. All of the Lord of the Rings?
Not all of them. I'll try what I can. My favorite one is the Two Towers.
Yeah, that one's my favorite too.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. Oh, but I do fucking
Return
love
of the King is pretty good.
Billy Boyd's little song in Return of the King.
It's really good.
Pippin's my fave though.
Mm.
Anyways, yeah, it still was a solid third film.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it, in all honesty. I expected to dislike it more. So I think I went in with my expectations being pretty low.
So that's good.
Even though the other two films were great,
Yeah.
I
think that's what I'm holding out with
expect
Scream 5.
Exactly. I expect anything that comes out afterwards to just kind of be garbage.
Yeah.
And like, why didn't you stop? Why didn't you stop?
I can't wait for you to watch Scream 4. I feel like I don't know how you're going to feel about it.
Well, I'm excited. I guess
I feel
we'll
like you either probably love it or hate it.
find out next week.
Mm-hmm.
Tune in next week.
Yes.
But yeah, so solid 3.5 boos from us for Wes Craven's 2000 film Scream 3. Yay.
Once again, we're in the Rogue Media Network studios.
As always, they make us sound amazing.
Yes.
And they're having to do a quick turnaround on this one, so sorry.
Thank you,
But
guys.
thank you. It'll be out tomorrow.
And then, if you're not following us already, please follow us on all of where you can listen to Spotify's or
all your streaming
podcasts,
platforms.
Streaming platforms, sorry, like Spotify, podcasts, or
Apple, iTunes,
basically anywhere you can follow
Stitcher,
your podcast.
Podbean, all the places.
We're all there, so you can find us everywhere.
And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe in any of those places if it's allowed. Yeah, it literally is the only way we can get anywhere.
And follow us.
You can also follow us on exactly one social media platform, being Instagram
at BooBaes
Podcast.
That's
right.
Go. Oh my gosh. Okay, at BooBaes Podcast. Yep.
All one word.
And it's just BOOBAES, not babes, because we're your BooBaes, not your babes.
That is right. I think that's all, buddies, right? Yeah. I mean,
right.
It was a long movie.
Yeah,
So
it was
nearly 2 hours long. So,
all right. Well, bye, Baes.
Bye, Baes. See you next week.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast. and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hey, I'm Zach.
And I'm Mike.
And we have a fantastic new podcast to tell you about. Bros, Foes, and Heroes. It's the two of us looking into the world of comics, breaking down some characters that you may have never heard of, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Zach comes up with a character each time, and I go into it just completely blind. I don't know who this person is or what their abilities are or anything, and basically I guess we kind of go over their origin story and just some of the ridiculous stuff that maybe, especially Golden Age stuff.
Oh, Golden Age stuff is always the best, and we will make sure to highlight all of the shenanigans and just absolute weirdness of everything.
Yeah, that's right. So subscribe today and follow us on Instagram at Bros, Foes, Heroes.
And if you don't, I know where you live. Not really, but please subscribe.
Bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hi, I'm Hank. You might remember me from a show called King of the Hill. Check out a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. These boys ain't rap, but they are funny. Find the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com. I tell you what.